what's up guys? My name's Carissa, aka CB. I just want to get you guys excited and give you guys some information about the student section that we officially have here on campus. Those involved in the student section are going to be called the Woo Crew. How cool is that? And the area where we're going to be getting wild at is going to be called the Royals Cage in the Tap. So in case you guys are wondering, how's the student section going to be known? We're going to have really sick t-shirts that are going to say Woo Crew across the front. Only going to be $10. You guys can go to Student Life and sign up for one, or come see me if you have any questions. What games are going to be going to, or what the theme is going to be that night. We have a Facebook page specifically for the Woo Crew. And then if you don't have Facebook, don't worry, just come talk to me. I can email you, that way you'll be up to date of what games we'll be going to that week. So I hope you guys are super excited about the student section. I know I am. The purpose of the student section is just to get everyone together to just go crazy and have fun at these games while we're supporting our Royals. I hope you guys are going to be there, and if you are, we'll see you in the Royals Cage. I hope you guys are going to be there, and if you are, we'll see you in the Royals Cage.
The Woo Crew, I like it. Hey, I hope that you'll get your shirt and support us. Hey, this week in chapel, we have a couple of speakers this week that are speaking sort of on the same topic here. At Warner, we believe in developing leaders that will go out and serve. So this week we have two different groups coming in talking about opportunities for you to serve. This morning, you're going to hear about KAA a little bit, a camp that's located in Missouri. And my son served there 2 summers. Wore him out, but he loved it. Jeff Stave is also going to come and tell you a little bit about KAA and introduce our speaker, because Jeff has served there as well. He's going to share his story a little bit.
Yeah, guys, so I got an awesome opportunity the past 2 summers to work at Kids Across America, or KAA. I have one of our shirts on today from this past summer. Y'all, it was an incredible experience and opportunity to share the gospel with inner city youth from across America, to have my life change, to be able to pour into fellow college students and pour into younger people who are beginning their faith journey, or some of them that never even heard the name of Jesus Christ. I'm so excited to be able to introduce Ricky Jimerson, who's our speaker today. He's one of the directors at Kids Across America. He's actually at Kids Across America 3, which is for our high school students. I'm so excited for you guys to hear the word from him today. My man has a passion for college students and for the gospel. So I'm so excited for you guys to hear. We have a couple videos for you guys to check out, so check them out.
Majestic is your name in all of the earth. You let your glory be seen in the heavens above. Out of the mouths of babes and infants, you have established a fortress of strength to still the enemy and quiet the avenger. When I look at your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars which you have set into place, what is man that you are mindful of him? The Son of Man that you care for him? You made him a little lower than the angels and crowned him with glory and honor. You have given him dominion over the works of your hands. You have put all things under his feet, all sheep and oxen, and also the beasts of the field, the birds of heaven, the fish of the sea, and whatever passes along the paths of the seas. O Lord, our Lord, how majestic is your name in all of the earth.
Everybody talking on the right and on the left, and they're holding out their promises while we all hold our breath. And if I did not know better, I would be scared to death. But God is on the throne. Yes, He is. Well, I know that it all matters, and there's so much at stake. And I know that we need wisdom for decisions we must make. But there's only one who's making promises that he won't break. And he is on the throne. He is faithful and true. Everything he says he'll do. And everything that we go through, he will go with us. All the kingdoms of man are in the palm of his hand. So I will not fear, I'll say it loud and clear, so my own heart can hear it. God is on the throne. Well, I've got my fears and worries like everybody else. I love this country and it's broken and in desperate need of help. So I'm praying to the one who has the power to make us well. And he is on the throne. And he is faithful and true. And everything he says he'll do. And everything that we go through, he will go with us. And all the kingdoms of man are in the palm of his hand. So I will not fear, I'll say it loud and clear, so my own heart can hear it. And God is on the throne. And kingdoms rise and kingdoms fall, and only one stands through it all. It's the kingdom of the God of grace and love, and I'm not worried because I know God is on the throne.
Good morning, one of you. Good morning. How y'all doing? I'm gonna try it again. How y'all doing? Great. Praise God. I mean, y'all a little more awake than the 9:30 crew. I'm like, man, you really dedicated, boy. You really gotta get them credits to come in at 9:30. It's like, gosh. But my name's Ricky Jimmers, as he shared earlier. It's a blessing to be here. Myself and John Scott, raise your hand, John, in the back. John Scott, we bring you greetings from Branson, Missouri. We flew out to Florida on Friday and been traveling for the next 2 weeks, sharing what God's doing in Branson, Missouri at a place called Kids Across America Canada Camps. And so what we do is, y'all, literally, we will hire about 1,500 Christian college students and athletes. We pay them for their services to come out in the summertime and share the gospel with inner city kids. And so we'll see close to about 20,000 kids. And so we're here on your campus. We've been coming here for many, many years. We'll be in the Darby Lecture Hall tonight at 7 o'clock. To kind of do a camp presentation, show you a video and all that kind of stuff. We'd love for you guys and ladies to come out and kind of see what it's about. Okay, so if you have a desire to possibly use this summer and earn some money to do what God's already called you to do, come check it out. So that's what we do. But it's a blessing to be here. Like I shared with you before, I've been here many, many years. And I was talking to some of the staff, and I told them, I said, man, I feel like y'all having a KA wiki, you don't even realize it. You guys brought in a guy here, anybody remember Keith Davis? Football player, played at USC, went on to play with the Giants. Lawrence Taylor came here a little while back and spoke to y'all. Anybody remember him? Okay, that's a KA guy. He worked with Kids Across America. Lee Jackson, who was here last week. You guys honored him with an award. I actually sent Lee Jackson to come to school here, because one of your coaches was a former Kids Across America staff member. And so Stephen Weathers, who you just had leave, also served at Kids Across America. He actually sent me a picture last week. He was like, hey, are you coming next week? I'm like, man, y'all don't even realize y'all just been inviting our whole staff here. So it's a joy to be another one of those staff members that came. What I want to do before we get started, I'm from the philosophy that you don't spectate, you participate. Okay? So when I'm talking with you, if there's something you want to say back, feel free to say it. Real talk. Cool? Cool, we'll try it again. Cool? Cool. All right, that's what I want. All right. So, let me set this up before we get going. There's a little video clip I wanted to show for you. Let me set it up before we get going, okay? We're going to come out of Matthew chapter 14. Okay? For those that read your Bibles, or that have been in the church, this should be a familiar story of the Bible for you. It's Matthew chapter 14. We're going to look at verses 22 through 33. But before we show this video clip, let me give you a little insight on what just took place. So here's what's happened. Jesus just found out that John the Baptist had been beheaded. Okay? So he takes the time out to himself, gets out of the boat, and goes out to have a little time alone with the Father. And as he's doing that, the people along the shoreline literally just watching him, walk with him. Wherever he gets out the boat, they want to be in his presence. And so he spends some time with the Father. He gets out of the boat, comes back to land, gets out the boat, and he immediately starts laying hands on people that are sick, healing them, start doing miracles. And then another familiar passage of scripture is basically the story where he takes, a few fish and a few loaves of bread and feeds 5,000 men, not even including the women and children. So all this just took place. Okay? And then this is where this video clip is going to pick up at. So you can roll that video clip.
Why did he walk away just when we're getting strong?
Surely a Messiah wouldn't leave us like this. A Messiah should be a warrior, a conqueror like David.
Judas, force is not the way.
So tell me what the way of Messiah is.
He's different.
But Mary, what if he's not the one? We're risking our lives. For what?
He has shown us his power. We must have faith in him.
Come on.
He'll not fail us.
He said he'd meet us on the other side. Let's go!
Thomas! It's Jesus! He is the Messiah.
Peter. You need to be strong.
Christian school, we got some biblical scholars. So let me clarify something, okay? Last time I checked, there's 12 disciples. And one of them wasn't a woman. Okay? So if you're here and you saw a woman on there, this is Hollywood. I was always going to try to enhance things, okay? But the Bible does include all of God's people. So we know that one of the 12 was not a woman. Okay? And it definitely wasn't Mary. For all people, it wasn't Mary. Okay? But the point of that clip that I hope you all grab a hold of is this here. Keep in mind, they just witnessed all this stuff. They witnessed him laying hands on people. They witnessed him healing sick people. They witnessed him taking a few fish and a few loaves of bread and feeding more than 5,000 men. Here they are putting leftovers in the boat. And they still found something to complain about. They still found something to complain about. Does that remind any of you of how we sometimes treat our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ? God can divinely do something in our lives, and literally in less than 5 minutes or maybe 10 minutes later, we find something else to complain about. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you that you are Lord all by yourself, that you allow us an opportunity to come before your presence to be called your sons and daughters. So, Father, I ask today, Lord Jesus, that you would remove all distractions, Father God. For those that sleep, Father God, your word says that faith cometh by hearing. I pray that your word would permeate their hearts while they're sleeping. For those, Father God, who are here because they just want to get their credit, Father God, I pray, Lord Jesus, they realize that even then, even now, Father God, your word can be planted, Father God. And I ask, Father God, that you would stir up their spirits. I pray, Father God, there be one in this room, Father God, you desire to use that individual can't rest until they respond to what you created them to do. And so, Father, I ask you to forgive me of my sins. Holy Spirit, hide me behind the cross and cleanse me of all unrighteousness, that I myself would not be disqualified from this truth that I desire to share. I pray, Father God, you use me from the peak of my head to the sole of my feet for your glory and your kingdom. Father, they never pay attention to the messenger. May they please hear your word. Because it is your word, Father God, that breathes and sustains our life. It is your word, Father God, that transcends and transforms us, Father God. And it is your word, Father God, that will last throughout eternity. And so, Father, I pray when all is said and done, may we all be careful to give you all matter of honor, glory, and praise. It's in your Son, praise Jesus' name we pray, and everyone said, Amen. All right, if you have your Bibles, we're going to look at Matthew chapter 14. We're going to look at verses 22 to 33. It's a story that we just witnessed on this video. Starting at verse 22, it says, immediately he made the disciples get into the boat and go before him to the other side, while he dismissed the crowds. And after he had dismissed the crowds, he went up on the mountain by himself to pray. When evening came, he was there alone. Verse 24. But the boat by this time was a long way from the land, beaten by the waves, for the wind was against them. And in the fourth watch of the night, he came to them walking on the sea. But when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were terrified and said, "It is a ghost." And they cried out in fear. But immediately Jesus spoke to them, saying, "Take heart, it is I. Do not be afraid." And Peter answered him, "Lord, if it is you, command me to come to you on the water." He said, "Come." So Peter got out of the boat and walked on the water and came to Jesus. Verse 30. But when he saw the wind, he was afraid. And beginning to sink, he cried out, "Lord, save me." Jesus immediately reached out his hand and took hold of him, saying to him, "O you of little faith, why did you doubt?" And when they got into the boat, the wind ceased. Verse 33. And those in the boat worshipped him, saying, "Truly, you are the Son of God." My question for you this morning, Warner University, is this year. When's the last time you asked God to simply command you to? When's the last time you asked God to simply command you to? You see, in James, you can go there later, James chapter 1, verses 2 through 4, talks about the purpose of trials and tribulation in our life. Believe it or not, they serve a purpose. James 1 tells us what that purpose is. It says, "Consider pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds. Because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. So what it's telling us is this here, trials and tribulations are meant to help us grow up. And God desires to take us from glory to glory, but in every leg of the journey that God puts us on, young people, there's something you got to get rid of, and there's something you got to pick up for the next leg of the journey. So everybody repeat after me, it's time for me to grow up. I'm going to say it again, it's time for me to grow up. So what we're going to do, we're going to look at the life of Peter right here in the midst of other Christians. Just like many of you, and I would never believe that because we're at a Christian school, everybody believes in Jesus. If you believe that, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. In fact, I wouldn't believe that everybody who carries the Bible reads it. If you believe that, you're in trouble. So we're going to look at the life of Peter right here and watch how he grows up. Because here's the blessing. God, and I want you to always remember, I don't care what your role is here or what you do on this campus. God is a master of taking broken people like all of us and performing His perfect miracles through us. Okay? So if you've got a call and you feel like on your life, let me give you an example and you can test to see if it's from God. Okay? If what you're being called to do is something you already got all the skills to do, it didn't come from God. If what you're called to do, you already got all the skills and all the talents it takes to do it, it didn't come from God. See, God's going to always put us in situations that what we need, if He doesn't show up, we're done. So here's another way of saying it. If your mission's not impossible, it didn't come from God. So if you're being called to do something, you look at it like, man, I can't do that. You're the right person He's looking for. You're that person. Because God's going to always put us in need of Him. You see, Jesus could have picked the biggest dream team there was to be His 12 disciples. He picked fishermen. What? Because guess what? If anything good came out of them, they know they didn't have what it took to do. And so if you hear, you see them saying, man, I can't do that good. You're the person He wants to use. So we look at Peter's life real quick. Go back to verse 22. It says, immediately he made his disciples get into the boat and go before him to the other side while he dismissed the crowds. Here's what's funny to me. They just with all this stuff, and God still had to make them go do something. Why do we do that? God reveals Himself to us. For some of us, we reduce God so small that guess what? God, you provided my tuition. That's as big as your God is. God, you paid my phone bill. Yes. That's as big as your God is, or I passed that test. That's not the God we're talking about here. In fact, the only limits you will ever see on your Lord is the ones you place on Him. But why is it God got to constantly push us when He reveals things to us time after time after time? Why? Because we're still children. It's just like children, a little parent, sometimes the parents got to nudge you a little bit. We're still kids in His eyes. Verse 23 says, and he had dismissed the crowds. He went up on the mountain by Himself to pray. Here is God incarnated in the form of Jesus Christ, walking on the earth, and still He takes time to go spend a long time with the Father. Young people, how much more do we need to spend time? Hear me. I'm not talking about your homework assignments because you're at a Christian school. So if your teacher tells you need to go read Romans chapter 1, that's not quiet time. That's homework. I'm talking about how often do you separate whatever it is you're responsible for here, go get some alone time from everybody else, and just spend time with God. Here's Jesus, God in the flesh here on earth, taking time to get alone, to get away from everyone else, to spend time with the Father. So how much more do we need to do that? Verse 23 says, when the evening came, he was there alone. Verse 24, but the boat by this time was a long way away from land, beat by the waves, for the wind was against them. And the fourth watch of the night, He came to them walking on the sea. Sometimes in life we can feel as though our circumstances, feel like God's nowhere to be found. Anybody can identify with that? You're going through something, it's like, man, God, where are you? I don't feel your presence. I don't sense your presence. And we feel like God's not on board with us. But I want you to understand something. It's like your boat is left and God missed it. You way out here by yourself and God missed the boat. I want you to understand something. God does not need to be in your boat to understand your circumstances. He can float. He does not have to be in your boat to understand your circumstances. God can float. And He doesn't have to be in your circumstances. God can look down upon your circumstances, young people. He didn't have to be in there with you. In fact, I love the fact that He sent them off. And then when it got dark, He said, I'll go meet them. I'll just walk out there where they at. Verse 26. It says, but when the disciples saw Him walking on the sea, they were terrified and said, it's a ghost. And they cried out in fear. Hear me. Fear provides an immediate opportunity for you to see what you believe in. Fear provides an immediate opportunity for you to see what you believe in. Now, I'm going to be honest with my Christian self, because we all got a flesh. And I don't care who it is, we've all fallen short. There is no exception. But if I see somebody walking on water in the daytime, we're going to have a problem. Okay? We're going to have a problem. And I'm going to be honest with you, if you're in the boat with me, we might end up fighting. Because if it starts coming our way, somebody got to get out. I'm not going to be first. I'm just going to be honest with my Christian, God-loving self. We're going to have a problem. I'm talking about in the daytime. Here it is, night. You got a storm going on, and they look and see somebody walking on water. Houston, we got problems. But I love what happened next, y'all. Verse 27. It says, but immediately Jesus spoke to them. See, in the midst of the fear, God's still there. Saying, take heart. It is I, do not be afraid. Y'all, even fear can't hinder God's voice. Even fear can't hinder God's voice from speaking. The problem is not is God speaking, the problem is this. Are you listening to what God is saying? Fear can't hinder the voice of the Lord. So when you grip by fear in the midst of all that stuff, it's still not that that's keeping God's voice from being heard. It's what He's listening to. Because here's what's interesting. When Jesus spoke, He didn't speak to just Peter. He spoke to all 12. But one spoke up. So even fear can't hinder the voice of the Lord. The question is, what are you listening to? Verse 28, I love Peter's response. Peter answers him, Lord, if it is you, command me to come to you on the water. Y'all, while being gripped with fear, Peter still had the audacity, number one, to hear God's voice and to respond. So right here, we're watching him grow up. Okay? James tells us that trials have a purpose. It's to grow us up. So right here, in the midst of all these Christian friends, Peter's growing up. He said, Lord, if it's you, command me to come out there on water, and I come out there. I'm scared, just like the other 11. But if it's you talking, Lord, command me and I'll come out there. When we're facing trials and situations in our life that have gripped us with fear, we still need to respond to the Lord with command me to. See, some of us want God to take us from glory to glory. Lord, I want you to use me. I want to be used to do X, Y, Z. He said, I need you to deal with that. But we're running. A trial comes to take something. A trial is an opportunity for your character to grow in you. Hear me. But you don't understand, I did all this stuff. So did I. I did all this here. So what? His grace is sufficient for you too. So here's Peter saying, Lord, if it's you, command me to. I'll come out there. In the midst of me being scared, I trust you enough that if you tell me to, I'm still going to do it. Verse 29, he said, come. So Peter got out of the boat, and walked on water and came to Jesus. Wow. Y'all, this is the first time that it's ever recorded in history where not one but two people walked on water. Not one, two people walked on water. God may want to use you to make history. I'm going to say that again. God may want to use somebody right here in this room to make history. But you got to get out of the boat. You may be the person God wants to use. But you got to make your own decision. Say, I'm going to get out of the boat. Verse 30. But when he saw the wind, he was afraid. And beginning to sink, he cried out, Lord, save me. And Jesus immediately reached out his hand and took hold of him, saying to him, O you little faith, why did you doubt? Verse 32. And when they got into the boat, the wind ceased. And those in the boat worshiped him, saying, truly, you are the Son of God. You know, here's what I found amazing. I pray you don't miss the last verse. Because all the times when people talk about this story, they always say, well, if Peter hadn't stopped looking at the wind and kept his eyes on Jesus, he'd have been all right. He don't want to get out. It's easy to stand on the sideline. But some of us got a sideline game. I'm a sideline Christian. But Peter impacted the game. He got the boat. Now, don't miss verse 33 because I love that. Here's why. Because the disciples are what we call today our Christians. Okay? They walked with Jesus. They ate with Jesus. They lived in the exact same places Jesus lived. They watched miracle after miracle every day with Jesus. And still yet, all of them will tell him don't do it. But verse 33, I love that. It says, when they got back in the boat, number one, the wind stopped. But the other part I love is the other 11, it says they began to worship him, saying, truly, you are the Son of God. Here's where I'm going with that. You may be the very person that God wants to use to influence your Christian friends. Sometimes your Christian friends can get in the way. I'm going to say that. Have great intentions. But God trumps all of that. Sometimes your Christian friends could be what's holding you back from doing exactly what God's called you to do. And if you be obedient, you may have the influence that needs to be had on their life that they can move forward. The word says, as soon as they got back in the boat, the others began to rejoice, begin to worship him. Why? Because God used one of their very own to show his divine power. Who says God can't use you? And if we know Peter, after all this, guess what? Peter still denied him 3 times. So it's not about you living a life of perfection. Because I'm going to tell you, there's nobody here that's qualified. In fact, there's no one on the face of the earth that's qualified. But I want to share this with you as I close. Because I have a burden on my heart, specifically for the Christian schools. I'm going to tell you why. I've been doing this for more than 19 years. And what disturbs me sometimes at Christian schools is oftentimes a lot of the students become spiritually obese. So you know if you go to a buffet, all you can eat, you keep eating and eating and eating and eating, eventually what's going to happen? You'll get overweight. It's called obesity. Until you start exercising. And all the time at the Christian school, what happens is some of you may be required for you to come to chapel. That's okay, you're here. But you get these speakers who come in, they do a great job of sharing his word. Some of the men and women that God used, and know what you do? Man, that was good. But you do nothing with it. In fact, you walk right the door, put your headphones on, and you want to forget that you never heard it. And it happens over and over and over again. And so what happens is you constantly talk about, God, use me. God, fill my cup. And God says, guess what? I want to fill your cup. So what does he do? You come to chapel, you get a good word. Your cup is full. And you leave it sitting right there. I'm talking about the Christian schools. You leave it sitting right there. And you ask God to give you more. Or if you know anything about obesity, you gotta change some habits if you want to change it. One thing you have to do to help avoid obesity is, number one, be careful what you're eating. Number two, you need to exercise. And so we get people to come in here, sharing the gospel at our Christian schools, and know what happens? You don't exercise. And so you become stagnant spiritually. If you know anything about stagnant water, it's horrible. Bacteria develops. It smells. It serves no purpose. And God is saying, guess what? I need you to do me a favor. If you want me to use you, you got to exercise. In other words, I got to tear the bottom out your cup. For some of your lives, Lord, but I'm in charge of shit. I don't care. If you want me to use you, you got to give away what I've already given you. You got to exercise. You need to be challenging one another on this campus. Hey, man, you say live with God? Yeah, stop fornicating. You fornicate too? Good. We're going to hold each other accountable. Okay, I'm sorry. Y'all don't want to talk about the Christian schools. Let me share something with you. One of the most misquoted verses I hear people say in the Bible is this here. It said the truth will set you free. That's not true. That's not what the Bible says in John. It says you shall know the truth, and the truth will set you free. Because the truth is the truth whether you like it or not. So what I want to do is I want to see you have a breakthrough. So if you want to have a breakthrough in your life, other people, you got to get out the boat. If they want to laugh at you, let them laugh. They laughed at him. But God said, you want more? Tear the bottom out your cup. But God, I'm a basketball player. I don't care. I gave you the talent. Tear the bottom out your cup. God, I'm a soccer player. I don't care. Tear the bottom out your cup. Take everything I've given to you and give it away to somebody else. Because God's math is this here. He says, you want more? You take what I gave you and you give it away. And as you give it away, guess what? I can take and put more in you. There is no limit to what God can do when we begin to exercise what He's already given us by giving it to somebody else. So I want to challenge you. If you're here on this campus and you got to wear the Christian t-shirts, you got to carry the Bible, you got to always quote the scripture, are you really living for Jesus? Because the Word tells us two things. Number one, you will know a tree by its fruit. Number two, the Word tells us this here. It says, guess what? The world will know that we're His disciples by our love for one another. So if you got to always tell people that are around you on a consistent basis that you live for Jesus, you're probably not. You're probably not. So my challenge to you, Warner, is this here. Get out the boat. Don't worry about what anybody else think about you. Peter didn't do that. And because of Peter's obedience, the other 11 were blessed. So why can't God use you? Amen? Let's pray. Father God, I love you. We praise you. We thank you that you are God all by yourself. Lord, there's some people here running. Worry about their status on the teams that they're playing for. Worry about their scholarships. Help them to know you're Jehovah Jireh. You're the master provider, Father. I ask, Father God, that someone would stand up on this campus. Your word says where two or more gather, Lord, you're in the midst of them. I ask, Father God, that some of the men and women in this room would get out the boat. I ask them to even tell nobody what they're going to do. They just start doing it. And let people know that they're different because of their love for you. Let people know they're different because of the fruit, Father God. I was fornicating. Till you change their appetite. I was smoking weed. Till you change their appetite. I was sleeping with the same sex. Till you change their appetite. And I ask and I pray, Father God, that when all is said and done, may they realize, Father God, you're a God who can take our mess and use it for fertilizer for somebody else to grow. So, Father, we pray that you have your way. And when all is said and done, may you and you alone, not Warner University, not Kids Across America, but no entity or no one else get the glory but you. It's in your Son, Christ Jesus' name we pray, and everyone said, Amen. We have a table set up in the back. If anybody will go to the student center, you want to talk about the camp, but you all dismissed.